Welcome to Cardiff, everyone. We're here for the annual Champion of Champions, and we've got the Jaws man, Colin Lloyd, in the house. Colin, look, you love coming here, don't you?
Love it, mate. This is I think it's my fifth one. Yeah. Listen, it's brilliant. This is where your dreams are made, I think, Phil. The old News of the World format, best of three. It's brilliant. I love it. I love watching it, and it's brilliant to be part of.
We've seen this create stars as well. Look, Gezi Price in his younger day has won here. Jim Williams, Johnny Clayton, even Kurt Parry last year. This creates household names.
Yeah. Oh, listen, it does. With this event, Phil, what I like about it, like I said, it's that best of three format. It's a nice little springboard. You're getting to play in a great atmosphere. You're playing against some great players. You get to play up on a big stage. You get to win superb prize money, massive prize money. It's great, and like you say, it's a nice little stepping stone. If you think you're going to be good enough to try and get on the pro circuit, come and have a go at Champion of Champions.
What's the key to winning this?
Me personally, if I was playing it, I was privileged to play in the last one of the News of the Worlds. For me, it was pivotal to get the first leg. Retrospect to whether you've got the throw or not, it was just pivotal to get that first leg because that just relaxes you. Obviously, once you get into and involved in an event, Phil, you relax a little bit anyway. And so if you did lose that first leg, you can say, it's right, it's not a problem. I know I'm playing well, but you've got to get through that first round first to be able to start thinking like that. So for me, first leg pivotal for me.
Look, there's some big names here. Will they have extra pressure and extra targets on their back from perhaps not so well-known names?
Yeah, everyone's qualified here by right. You know, everybody's capable of taking them out. Everybody. Phil, there's players out there now that are capable of going 12-13, 13-14. You've got to go 9-12 or 9-11, something like that. You know, and it's just that's how hard the format is. But that's what makes it so great. If you think you're good enough, come and have a go because this really puts you on the spot. We've still had great players in this over the years. Also, you know, some big names. Their names aren't on the trophy. If your name's destined to be on that trophy, you'll be on that trophy come the end of the day.
Look, your good old mucker that I'm going to speak to in a minute, Bobby George, is here. He won the News of the World twice. Once without dropping a leg.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's massive. And Joe, the funny thing about it is, Phil, when you do chat to him, he turns around and says, he said, I was only like champion for like 2, maybe 3 months. Because then you had to start defending it again, because obviously you had to defend your town, your area, your county, and all like that, you know, and then you got to go to the grand finals. But listen, that's no mean feat. But, you know, to win it twice, but to win it once without even dropping a leg, that's just unbelievable. And that's why I know Bobby loves this event, because it takes him back to them glory days of when he actually won the big one.
Is Bobby's career a little bit underappreciated? what he achieved, winning the News of the World twice and things like that? Because back then, that was as good as a world title.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I think back then when Bobby first won, I think the News of the World was bigger than the world title. To win the News of the World twice, it was a major, Phil. It was a major, simple as that. Bobby won 3 Butlin Grandmasters. They were massive. You had all the big guns in it. You'd have had Eric, you'd have had Lowy, Jockey, Big Cliff. They'd have all been in it. And so to win that 3 times as well. Yeah, I sometimes think, why people write off Bobby so much is because they just see the showman.
Yeah.
They don't realise the class of player that he was. You know, his runs, you know, a 2-time runner-up in the Worlds.
Yeah.
You know, one lost to the legend is Eric Bristow, our dear departed friend, and the other one to John Part, who was possibly that year in the BDO unplayable. Yeah. That week he played absolutely brilliant. Every shot he wanted, he hit it. And we all know about John. John's a legend himself, 3 times world champion now. So yeah, I think what it is the showman side of Bobby, the exhibition side of Bobby. I think some people do underappreciate what he actually achieved. Even when he didn't qualify for the Worlds, he never not got through the qualifiers. Every qualifier he played, I think he got through. I think it was about 7, 8, 9 times he went to the qualifiers and got through. England International. And back in the day, he was a big name, and he's still a big name in the world of darts now. Listen, I think where Bobby's concerned, the likes of people that do know him extremely well, like myself, you know who he is, you know what he's about.
100%.
You know what he won, what he could have won, but he chose a different path and he became the showman that he is today. And I'm pleased to say, Phil, that he's one of my best pals.
100%.
Yeah.
This format, would you like to see the elite have a go at this in a tournament? Like, because the elite used to play the news of the world.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Would you like to see the elite of today have a go against each other in this kind of format?
I think, Phil, there's no reason why the PDC couldn't put on an event similar to this, and then when it gets down to the 256, you bring in the 128 Pro Tour players. So you've got 128 Pro Tours, you've got 128 people that have played off in various events and whatever to get the privilege of playing that. Logistically, would the PDC want the aggro of it of 256? It's quite a lot. You'd have to have a big venue, Phil. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great, especially if you could play it and then say the last 32 live on TV. We've got something similar anyway, haven't we, in the UK Open?
Yeah.
But obviously a longer format.
Best of 3 all the way through.
A longer format. But yeah, if they could, I think they could do something like that at Minehead, couldn't they, actually? Because it is a big enough venue. Yeah, I think it'd be good. And then the last 32, on the big stage at Minehead, live on TV, I think that'd be great. It creates a great atmosphere, doesn't it? Because
drama.
You could be in the Formula Life. You could be Luke Humphreys.
Yeah.
Winning everything just of late. Coming up against someone, Joe Bloggs from Northumberland or whatever. You know, I think, who's he? All of a sudden he goes, bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden, world champion, world number one's out.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's what we want in darts, Phil, isn't it? I think, you know, sometimes we want someone to come from obscurity.
Yeah.
To go,
Your Rob Cross, your Barry Lynn's, for the stories that
exactly,
are there.
Yeah. And you think to yourself, well, where did you come from? Where have you been hiding?
Yeah.
And I just think it's great for darts. I mean, not in that sort of way, but we've got young Luke Littler.
Yeah.
Young Luke Littler's come along.
Josh Rock.
Josh Rock, yeah. I mean, they've been making a name for themselves. I'm not taking that away from them whatsoever. They've been making a name for themselves. But all of a sudden they've got into the pro ranks and they've come in and gone, bang, we want some of that.
100%.
And listen, that's exactly what they've done. But that's what we want. We want 2 or 3 people like that a year, Phil, I think. That'd be great for darts. I think it'd be great for darts. Darts is great at the minute anyway. I love darts. Always have loved darts. Always will love darts. But at this moment in time, darts is in such a good place. And listen, maybe we ought to start a little campaign to say to the PDC, listen, let's try and get a old news of the world format. I think it'd be great. And I think it'd work.
I'm with you. Look, last time we spoke to you was before the match play, and you said don't write off a certain green machine. Although he didn't win the match play, get into the final when he wasn't in the best of form that he ran into the juggernaut that is Luke Humphreys at the moment. But you said you had an inkling for him.
Yeah. Listen, you can't write off Michael Van Gerwen. He's such a class player, and he's just a class person. And I think, Phil, if you look at that final, I was up on the balcony at that point. I was at that point with Vince and Fiona.
Yeah.
Red Dragon Windmill. And we were watching it, and all of a sudden we're trying to have a conversation. All of a sudden we're looking at the screen, we're looking at the stage, looking at the screen. Because I think the last maybe 10 legs of that match was absolutely
ridiculous.
Sublime. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to have seen what they were both averaging just for the last 10 legs.
Yeah, it was
because
magical.
it was just 140, 180 ton out, 140, 180 ton out, 140, 140, 140 out, and it was just a case of, God, is anyone going to miss? I think they were a little bit tentative at the start of the match.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it boiled into an absolute battle. And tell me that they're having a head-to-head in November, isn't it?
Yeah, November, back in Blackpool, yeah.
Yeah, back in Blackpool at Viva.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, if anyone wants to go along, I think it'll be well worth your money. Because the latter part, the whole final was fantastic anyway.
Yeah.
But the latter part of that final, that was just ridiculous darts, absolutely ridiculous. But for me now, as a former top player, still throw me darts and whatever, but for me to be able to sit there, or not sit there, stand there and watch that going on, you think to yourself, oh, that's just ridiculous. but ridiculous in a good way.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
what I mean? It was brilliant, and it was nice to see Michael put in some performances that week. It was good to see. You know, we need Michael to be around. You know, it's not just about a handful of players. There's other players that are starting to do some good stuff again, and it is great for darts.
Luke Littler has been on this crest of a wave, and it has been a crest of a wave. But the last 6 weeks, it's been, shall we say, difficult. Although the performance has been there, to lose first round of the match play, to then go to Australia and New Zealand, he got absolutely demolished in the final by Gezi, and that will hurt. And then in New Zealand, he was in a winning position, and then Luke Humphries ran off 5 legs. Will he learn a lot from this period early in his career? Yeah,
I think he will. Listen, Phil, no one wins forever. You know, you can look at the rich veins of forms that Phil Taylor had. You know, the GOAT. You know, and I'm going to say that he is the GOAT. But Kevin Painter took him out in the first round of the Grand Prix. Adrian Gray did. Andy Calaby did. You don't always win.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't always win. But as long as he still keeps putting in the hard work, still keeps practicing, still keeps level-headed. Listen, the boy's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And I say boy because he is a boy. He's not even an adult yet. You know, let's just give him time to sort of like soak it all in. Phil, we're only like, what, we're 8 months in
to his professional
career.
Yeah.
You know, he blasted onto the scene really for everybody to see at the World Championships, and he ended up going to the final. Listen, the boy's got, I'm not going to keep saying boy, it's disrespectful. Luke's got a very, very good career ahead of him. Very good career. You've got to take the highs with the lows. He's had a lot of highs just of late. He's had a couple of lows, but listen, yes, he got demolished in the final in Australia, but you know what, he made the final.
Yeah.
All the players that were there, he was in the final. Yes, he was in a winning position. Sometimes you don't go over the line. Just sometimes you don't go over the line. Don't think about it. The one thing I've always said, Phil, I try to think, is never go like that. And by that, I mean never look over your shoulder. What happened there is it's gone. Keep looking forward. And if that's the one thing that I could give to him, just keep looking forward. Take each game as it comes, take each tournament as it comes. Be happy. You're a class player. Just keep doing what you do.
Lloyd, absolute pleasure here in
Cardiff,
mate, as always.
Always good to see you, pal.
Always good.
Cheers, mate.